Here I'm going to create a simple geometric pattern and then place that pattern into simple shapes to create a bold logo of abstract letter forms. I'll start by zooming out, Command or Control 0. If I just pan over to the left, on the pasteboard we have the pattern tile that we need to recreate. And to do that, I'm going to choose my polygon tool. I'll hold down the Shift key as I draw my polygon. If you find that you need to add to the number of sides as you're drawing, keep your mouse button held down, keep the Shift key also held down, and press the up arrow to add sides or the down arrow to remove sides. This object has a black stroke, and I'm now going to rotate it. I'm moving to its corner, holding down the Shift key so that its pointed sides are at the top and bottom. I'll double click on the Scale tool and make a copy at 50%. I'll now switch to the Line tool and draw lines that connect the edges. First of all, deselect, Command or Control, and click outside of the selection. Move back over the center point, indicated because I have my Smart Guides turned on. Hold down Option or Alt and the Shift key and draw one line like so. Double click on the Rotate tool. I want to rotate a copy through 60 degrees and then Command D to repeat that transformation. So I now have my basic pattern tile. I want to fill the different segments with colors from my predetermined color group. And to do that, I'm going to choose my Live Paint bucket and click to make this into a Live Paint group. I'll come to my swatches panel and choose the color group that I want to use, starting with the yellow, and then I'll just fill in the color segments. I can now press my right or left arrow to move to a new color swatch with my Live Paint tool. I'll switch to my Selection tool, choose the Stroke property, and apply None. Now, in order to make this object into a pattern tile, I will need to expand it so that it's no longer a Live Paint object. I'll come to my Swatches panel and then drag it over onto the Swatches panel to make it into a pattern tile. Before I edit the pattern tile, I'll click outside of my selection to deselect it so that I don't apply the pattern tile back to it. I'll now double click on the swatch, and here I am in the pattern editor. For the tile type, I want hex by row. Let me just zoom out so that we can see that more clearly. Command or Control 0. I'll leave the pattern editor, and I'm now going to draw my letter shapes to apply the pattern to. Let's just move this over onto the pasteboard in case we should need it again. I'll draw down a guide. That's going to indicate the baseline of my type. I'll press the L key to access the Ellipse tool and draw a circle. Option and Shift to draw from the center point of the circle. I'll now duplicate that once, Command or Control D to repeat that transformation. Let's apply a stroke color to them so that we can see where they are. I'll now select the middle of the circles, which will become the G, and I'm going to duplicate this holding down Option or Alt and drag away from it and just create a small amount of overlap. I'll now switch to my Rectangle tool and draw myself a rectangle that will represent the L. Move that into position. I have my corner widget shown. If you don't see yours, you can turn it on right here. And with the corner widget, I can round the corners like so. Possibly adjust the width. I first of all need to select the two circles that will make up the G, And using my pathfinder, I will combine those into a single shape. I'll then select all of these shapes and apply my pattern not to the stroke as I did then, but rather to the fill. Optionally, I can choose to scale the pattern within the shapes if I double click on the scale tool, making sure that I do not have transform objects chosen, but only transform patterns. And there I can choose a different scale for the pattern.